Facebook Live. Hi, this is Val, and honey, you're in Valtopia now. I'm going to share this live stream, but what I want to tell you, what we're going to talk about while people are joining us today, is we're going to talk about creating a new reality for yourself and what might be locked up inside of you that you can't even bear to look at or think about, that's keeping you from creating everything your heart's desires. A new world for yourself, a new world for your family, a new world for everyone, where a place where you can truly be yourself and be love and light and expression and creativity and alive like you want to be. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And it's going to be very powerful. And I'm invited Sarah Labra to come on with me to join me today. And we're going to do some amazing connection and really mostly just to highlight this issue because it's so important. Hi, Susan. How are you? So let me jump on now that I've given the little highlight and share this live stream so that we can, you know, get some crew on here. And I'd love for you to share. I do have my cards. I'm not sure if we'll share today, do readings. Maybe with Sarah we'll do a couple. But mostly this is a really important issue, and I've just come through a deep level of awareness about it, and it's really empowering, and it's some stuff that's been holding me back for a long time. I'm looking down because I'm sharing the live stream. Hey Susan, I'm glad you're with me. And you know, this stuff is deep and powerful. So let me just share this. Where are we? Here we go. So I'm going to share to my page because that's where a lot of people are going to pick it up. And there we go. And I'm going to share in my group, Divine Brilliance for Visionary Leaders. Join us in the group if you are a creator of the new earth, a new you. If you want to be yourself fully, all of your rock star cosmic self, right? That's what we want you to do. And there's any number of schnizzle that's holding you back from being yourself. And it doesn't have to, right? We can do this. So let me share in Divine Brilliance for Visionary Leaders. And let me share into, thank you, Susan, thank you for sharing. And let's see if we can get a crew going here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to talk for a little bit, and then Sarah's going to be joining. Oh, there she is. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Hi, Deborah. How are you? Okay. So I've shared a couple places. I'm leaving the rest of the sharing up to you. And I do know that a lot of you who watch me afterwards and maybe never, thank you, Deborah. Maybe you watch me and you don't actually join the live stream, but I know a lot of you guys watch the replays, and I'm grateful for your presence and for watching it and for growing with me. And so I thought I'd start today with a little bit of history about me because I do have a lot of new people watching, and those of you who have been watching me, maybe you don't know my story, so I thought I'd share briefly. Hi, Carmen. Thank you. Carmen says I'm glowing, darling. Here, let me move this up a little bit so you can see the pretty paintings. I want to share a little bit about my story so that you can understand where I'm coming from, and then go from there. So I'm 46. My birthday is coming up. I'm going to be 47. Honey, I can't believe I'm almost 50 years old. I'm 50. So I'm proud of my age. I've earned every minute of it, and with my age comes a lot of experience because I've done a lot of things. So I live in Los Angeles. I live in Mar Vista. It's a beautiful place about 10 minutes from the beach. And hi, Tanya, how are you? And so here's my story. I was married. I'm still married, but I am separated right now. And I have two boys. They're young. They're 8 and almost 5. And I just passed my 10-year anniversary of marriage. And in the last 2 years, I had an awakening. My brother passed away in October of 2014. My brother struggled most of his life with anxiety and just basically didn't enjoy being alive. Let's just put it that way. He liked to be up in the ethers, be high, more than he liked to be alive. When he died, I felt his presence. And right around that time, I also started taking voiceover classes. It's something I'd always wanted to do. I'd spent the last 15 years working in the film business. I worked on a whole bunch of big Hollywood movies as an effects artist. And the job that I did was sitting in the dark with a bunch of guys, which I loved working with the guys, really brilliant guys, but men who had studied at NASA and were rocket scientists. And I got to work on the effects for film, and that experience was physically exhausting. We would do 100-hour weeks and work many, many hours. When you do 100-hour weeks, it means you're working 12 to 14 hours a day for 7 days a week, weeks on end. We used to go to Target to buy new underwear because we didn't even have time to wash our clothes. So what that meant for me was I had a good paycheck coming in, but I wasn't even living my life in a way, right? I was stuck in the dark, and I was there. And my husband and I both struggled through the experience of trying to make it here in Los Angeles and work in this film business. And we also came together, I feel, to really grow our souls and our experience. So after my brother died and I started doing these voiceover lessons, I had found my voice. And what had happened in my marriage is that, thank you, Laureen, you know what? I found my inner me with Sarah, and that's why I'm so lit up today. I want to share this important stuff because I've been talking about self-awareness and growth and illumination for 2 years now, and all my life, really. I've always been creating art, and I've always been inspired and very energetic and passionate. But during my marriage, I really focused on my babies, and physically, that experience tapped me out of my time for myself, which it does for many of us moms, right? And in that experience, I got really sick in my marriage. It wasn't just the marriage, it was me denying myself. And that all these choices come back to what we choose for ourselves. And what I want to get at today, and the reason I want to tell my story, is that there are sort of deeply buried issues. Ooh, I saw a flash of light. Did y'all see that? There are deeply buried issues hidden in our subconscious, deep in our heart and our soul, that can keep us from really knowing and being ourselves. And sometimes they're tricky. And I'm tricky. I feel like I've got Fort Knox around certain parts of me. And even though I've expanded greatly, ooh, someone's spirit guide's coming in with the big boo. I found myself continually hitting certain limits. And this eclipse and this weekend, the last few weeks and months in general, but especially this work that I've been doing lately, is stuff that I just haven't wanted to deal with in a long time. And the reason I didn't want to deal with it is because somewhere inside of me, a trigger was going off. And I'm closing my eyes so that I focus and really bring through what I want to say. Because one of my traits is that I'm easily distracted. And what I'm discovering in my expansion and growth and awareness of myself is that this ADHD or level of distraction happens because there's emotions I don't want to feel. There's emotions that as a child I experienced and they were not accepted or acceptable for whatever reason. I'm not saying my parents are monsters by any means. And let me tell you, that's part of the problem. Because my parents are good people and wonderful and did beautiful things for me, as I grew into a responsible, mature adult, I didn't want to blame them for anything. There's nothing to blame. There's only me that's responsible. And part of the awareness and coming into responsibility of myself is being aware of certain things that happened to me that shaped how I feel. Because how we feel is how we create, is how we be, is everything. And if at some point in your young life you weren't able to be and feel the way it's natural to you. Now, you may be in a family where the way you feel doesn't work for them, which happens to most of us, right? Because we have to be quiet, we have to follow the rules, and we have to get in line. Our parents are busy working hard, and they're having a hard time. I'm a parent now, I can see how it happens. And at some moment, when we're sensitive and open, we feel, and somebody says, quit that. Why'd you do that? Wow, who do you think you are? Whatever experience it is for you, or it could be even way more scary and painful. No matter what it is, at some point you got clipped, or you weren't able to express yourself naturally, and you weren't able to be yourself, and you shut down, and you got boxed in. And what happens is you get yourself out of the box as an adult, but somewhere inside of you, you're still in that box. And I don't care what you do, if you don't really think and honor those feelings that happened and honor the experience that shaped that box, you carry the damn box with you forever. And so even if you leave the husband, or you quit that job, or you move out of that nasty neighborhood, or whatever it is that you feel like you're boxed in, if the box is still inside of you, honey, it's going to go with you. It's going to go with you everywhere you go. Let me see what you guys think about that. Let me hear your comments on that and how you're relating to this. So I think that I was telling my story and I jumped right into the heart of the issue. I've spent the last 2 years, I started out publishing a coloring book of channeled drawings, and then I moved into offering energy sessions, and I tied my artwork, which is my modality, the way I really am able to reach through subconscious, because as a child, I did tons of artwork and was in my own world with that creativity. And that was how I did allow my emotions to come through. That was a safe way for me to express myself. And I have this deep connection and power to this method of work. I also feel like I'm super gifted that way. And I have to honor that gift, you know, it just is a natural thing for me. But now what I'm learning as a grown-ass woman is to express my feelings from my words and my very beingness. And the box that I've created for myself, you know, and the lack of boundaries that I had for others around me, all that's shifting. And because all that's shifting, I have a new reality, you know? When I was in my marriage and feeling like I wasn't allowed to say what I wanted to say or be who I wanted to be, I was creating that, and I realized deep inside of me that I could change it, and I did. And look, I'm in a new place, and I'm allowing myself to grow more and more into who I am, and it all comes down to trust. I have to trust myself. I have to trust in my knowing. I have to trust in the universe, and so thank you for being with me. And okay, so I started using the art. See, I get distracted because I start thinking about you guys commenting, and I want to share my message clearly, and I start thinking about the reception of it, and I get distracted from the content and what I want to share. So I started doing these digital portraits of my clients, and because I can see each of you, and this is part of what my experience in life, I'm super empathic. I can feel my clients, I can feel you if I allow myself to tune in physically and emotionally. I can feel your energy centers. And I didn't realize that I had this gift until I came into this world, and that was causing me a lot of strange reactions in my life too, because I was feeling all this stuff and knowing all this stuff, but I didn't know why, and I didn't know what was mine, and I didn't know what was outside of mine. So learning about empathy has been really helpful. But I also see the highest version of you. I see and feel and know your soul self. And that has tripped me up in my life because I'm very open in some ways towards everyone outside of me, right? I was super open outside of myself, but not necessarily to myself, and allowing myself to live under the impression of your soul selves rather than the actual person that's expressing themselves in front of me. And really, there's a space in between what we are being and our soul beingness. And my passion and purpose in life is to bring myself and all of you who care to join me, and however I can be of assistance to inspire and illuminate you to come into all of your soul self. Because that's what we need to shift our reality and our world, to create a new experience for ourselves. And most of this life and tradition that we've been living over the years has not allowed us to expand into ourselves, because it's not convenient. It doesn't help the control and the power over from patriarchal systems. It doesn't work, right, for everybody. They think, how can everybody just do what they want? If we are all shut down and closed within ourselves and don't know how we feel and what we want, we can't be in that soul place, right? So let me know what you think about this. And part of me feels like, did I explain who I am and my story well enough? Let me know if you have any questions about my experience or what's coming through. So what happened this week with this eclipse energy, and I found a lot of people were going through this, is this deep pain and anxiety. And I found that if we tune into the deep pain and anxiety, even though everything in us was getting triggered and saying, let's not go there, I don't want to know, I don't want to feel that again, I put that behind me years ago, I don't need to get into that. That's when the anxiety rose, and that's when the grief rose, and that's when the pain rose, right? When you avoid and ignore the truth that's coming through. Hey, Olivia, what up? Hey, France. I'm seeing you guys join, and I'm welcoming you. Thank you so much for being with me. So, oh, there's my hummingbird. Hello, beautiful. Hi. I feel like I should turn the camera so you can see. Hang on a second. Oh, he flew away. He knew I was going to put a spotlight on him. Yeah, exactly, Olivia. I think what's really become clear to me over this journey of self-expression and knowing and growth and living a more life that is aligned with who I am and what I want to be, and helping others to do that, and making more money and creating more wonderful, beautiful things, is that when I'm anxious and feeling really out of sorts, there's something I'm ignoring about my truth. It's really simple, but it's not simple because we get triggered into shutting ourselves down. The trigger recreates a feeling of fear that we experienced a long time ago, and the fear says, don't do that, don't think about that, don't touch that, don't, right? And I've been one of the worst, and I tend to know that many of my clients have that locked in, something's locked in inside of them, just like me. And of course, our clients are mirrors for us, and we may be one or two steps ahead of those that we, on some level, that we're guiding, right? And I don't feel like we're broken and need to be fixed. I just feel like we need to come into awareness about ourselves and allow more and more of our truth to come out. And then when we do, and the more aligned we are to expressing and being ourselves, we grow. We stand in our power. We express ourselves. We uplift others rather than retreating into ourselves, triggered into fear and being shut down. Yeah? Victoria says, I finally realized one of my biggest issues was that I see only my energetic self. And when I pay attention, I realize my actual physical body stands next to me. And then let me see if I can see this comment. because it's cut off on my phone here. Oops, I can't see. Okay, well, I'll have to go back and look at the comment, but thank you for sharing that, Victoria. So, listen, I want to see, how do I want to bring Sarah on with me. Oh, here we go. Because Sarah, I've had a lot of help guiding me out of myself. And I was thinking about it last night, and I was thinking about how much judgment I felt about that because, you know, I come from a family, you don't invest a lot of money in personal development. That's just not what you did. That's not what you do. You do some. My parents were aware and grew a lot and changed a lot from when I was a kid. They're wonderful. But this level of spending money on my own growth, for many of us, our families are like, what are you doing, right? How can you do that? And the truth is like, if it's on lockdown, it can be unlocked. And if you ain't unlocked yet, well, go unlock it. Now's the time. Now is the time. We are privileged enough to be sitting here, spending our days growing and looking in Facebook and dreaming of and creating businesses where we want to serve others and uplift and change the world. We have that privilege. Like, get into it. Do the work. Don't get stuck at some point and stop because you think that that's it, you know, get shut down. If you feel like you're stuck and locked, there's some part of you that you're unable to see. And you're not unable forever. You will find yourself. But you have to be honor that if you're getting triggered and shut down, well then love on yourself a little and find out what's keeping you on lockdown, because it can be unlocked. And so with that, Sarah, are you here? I'm going to click on you and see. Oh, it says I can't invite you to the live video. Why can't I invite you? I was going to do a thing where we joined together, but for some, oh, you know what? Do you have to be on your mobile phone, Sarah? I think you have to be on your cell phone to do it. Okay. So, Susan says crawling in my blanket fort, coloring in your book. Oh, good. Hi, Becky. Yes, come back and watch the replay. Yeah, I published a coloring book. Susan's been on this journey with me. She was in a class with me where I bawled my eyes out a couple years ago. I was such a different version of myself. I was so scared. I was so unhappy because I wasn't doing this is me. Hey, Kelsey. I've always wanted to speak and share and inspire and create artwork and have my bongos. I mean, this is so natural to me. And even before I got married, I lived in an apartment in Hollywood and I had my instruments and I had my artwork. And so not being yourself will shut you down and will scare you. And, you know, we put ourselves into these little caves to cocoon, but we're meant to come out of them. And the coloring book that I published, let me grab it over here. That's a coloring book. Just grabbing it, was the first thing that I did to express myself and start my own business. And, you know, if I'd have told everybody, well, I'm going to run this business where I publish a coloring book, and then I'm going to do these energy portraits, and eventually I'm going to have this 3-month experience that costs $5,000 that is going to change people's lives with a portrait and energy work and amazing mindset shifts and life-changing creationary living. Do you think anybody would have said, yeah? No, but I just followed my nose, followed my intuition. You're on your phone now, okay, goody. I'll stall in a little bit so Sarah could get up. I allowed to come through whatever wanted to come through, and that led me to knowing more about myself and expressing more of myself, and then in turn that allowed me to be more empowered and to stand more in my truth, which then enabled me to serve and guide those who come to me for guidance much more powerfully. So here's some drawings in the book. I've colored in some of these. Let me just show. There's gratitude. And in the back there's a guide to crystals and essential oils. And basically these channeled drawings were all the phases I was going through myself on my first true spiritual expansion and personal growth expansion. and there's levels. There's like tips on how you can sort of surf your human as you go through this experience, right? So you can find it on Amazon. Hi, Gail. It's $8.88. This is one of the most accessible ways to access the energy that comes through from the cosmos and your up-level experience. So with that in mind, and now that Sarah is available, let me see if I can do this again. Oh, goody. Okay. Invite to broadcast. She's going to be on. This is exciting. I've been wanting to do more interviews. I'm all about sharing others who've helped me, opening up others' businesses, helping all of us grow, because the more each of us expand into what we're doing, they're going to need us, you guys. Everybody was looking in the sky last week. When's the last time everybody was looking up at the sky, talking about the cosmos and talking about the energy and being aware of what they need to let go on some level? Oh, here she goes, Sarah. And so as more and more people wake up and start to go through this stuff and dig into it, they're going to need us. They're going to need us. So let's get through our own stuff and come into our power where we're no longer doubting our wonderful gifts and who we are. Now I see black. Sarah, can you hear me? Are you there? I can hear you, but I can't see you. Can you guys
can you hear
Sarah?
me? Yay!
Oh, turn it around maybe, or?
Because it told me to turn my screen. No, it told me to like unlock my little screen lock.
You can?
Ooh, what happened?
I'm looking down on my
because I can see me.
I want to see if I want to see if the comments, because I can't see the comments now. I wish I could see your face. Maybe I'll be able to see you on the laptop. No, don't try anything, but let's just see.
Should I try that?
I'm going to try to log in again. Do you want me to close you out and try one more time?
Oh.
You guys, this is worth it. This is worth it, because Sarah is such a darling, and
yeah,
let's try a lot through my work with her, and I've been working with others too. And that's the tricky thing about doing personal development work. We work with many people, and sometimes it's hard to know which thing led to what. But I definitely am amazed with what Sarah helped me through, and I'm a tough nut to crack. I've worked with a lot of people, and this part of me was not getting loose without the loving and gifted awareness that Sarah brought me into. So let's see, comments. You can see Sarah, but blurry with an exclamation point. Okay, so do you want to try again? You wanted me to close you out? Let me close you out and try one more time. And then click again, invite to broadcast. And this up over here is the painting that I did after my work with Sarah. It was like a liberating painting. So there you are, yay! Okay. Okay, so my phone I keep getting text messages. So Sarah, thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to talk a little bit about the experience so people know. And I want to say that I want to collaborate with Sarah, and I'm going to be collaborating with other healers too, to bring more to my Divine Light Portrait experience, because we are not alone. We are not alone. And the goal is about us unlocking this stuff that's so tight and deep within us. We don't even know what a grip it has on us. And it's time. Come on, people, look at what's going on and look how powerful we are, how much energy we have. We do not need to be locked in old stories. So what Sarah helped me figure out, she sat with me for 2 hours and just channeled through what she received about my inner child. And let me tell you, I have avoided this work for so long because I thought it was silly, right? Like, not silly, but it was the same thing I'd been doing to my inner child all along. Oh, it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I got over that a long time ago. And besides, my parents are great people. I don't have anything to say about them. It's all good. Like, let's just shut her down. And, right? And finally, the reason I worked with you is because, first of all, I've enjoyed your presence on my live streams as a tribe member in Valtopia, and you've been so present and aware, and I was connecting with you that way. And then I caught one of your live streams, and you read me. You read my heart. You know, you read all the energy. You knew what was up, and that always, you know, that works. And we like to people that, you know, when they identify parts of us, we're like, oh my God, they do see. And so then we sat for 2 hours. And the curtain was blowing behind you. You were so pretty, and your children were in the background, so calm and loving. And you just, oh, this is coming through. And you're so enthusiastic and so present. And everything you said, some of it I didn't know or don't know, but most of it I was like, yes, yes, oh yes, that's true. And that allowed me to, instead of minimizing what was there all along, to say, okay, all right, okay, this deserves attention. And in allowing attention to it and awareness, what we discovered is I had left her behind. I had left part of me behind. And rather than her being gone and being like, okay, that shit's not bothering me anymore, I'm all good, she was freaking driving the bus every time things sort of dipped down out of illumination. Every time the moon turned a certain way, or, you know, I'm too tired, or whatever, here came my little girl going, and all this stuff that's wrapped up around moments of my childhood that were long gone. But they were still running the show. And in honoring this work and your work, and your personality was able to crack through, your gifts cracked me open. Things are shifting, and like tell you the very next day after the weekend, after I really moved through this work, I got an invitation out of the blue to an art gallery, and it's something I've always wanted since I was a little girl. So hey, it's amazing when you really loosen up, right? So I keep talking. Sarah, thank you for joining us. Hi.
It was so wonderful. Just divine works through me. It's such a blessing, and it's such an honor I'm the same way, where I always, like, when I was little, I could always look at people, and it's like they'd be all sad, and I'm like, but I see your inner beauty. Like, what is the block? What's going on? And so once I embraced my sensitivities and me feeling other people's energy, then, oh my gosh, it was like the floodgates open. I just so embraced the journey of learning to love myself and just being more playful, like not taking things so serious, you know? It's like I felt like I had to be so perfect all the time, and then I was like screwing up all the time, you know, because I was trying to be something I wasn't. And I started following you, like you've been a teacher for me on my journey, and really bringing me into this world. And like you would I remember you clearing my throat chakra and just helping me to like find my voice so that I could speak, because my inner child has always been like, she's always been there, like she's like ready to like cry about something, you know, and or gives, you know, just give someone a hug. Like I just love to cuddle and be like a love bug. And so watching your sessions, you helped me go through my journey. So it's so beautiful, and I'm just so grateful that our paths are aligning. And I mean, it's like, whoa, baby, you know, it's just so wonderful. And yes, divine works through me to really, they just start talking to me, and I'll just start saying messages. Okay, this is what I'm hearing right now, and things that are coming through of like when you felt when you were a child, and it'll literally, like, I will absorb that energy to be transmuted, and it'll come, you know, it basically turns into love so that I can then release it to divine, and so that you can fully express yourself and being playful and like the fairies, you know, and the animals and just really learning to trust. It's like when you came into this world as a child, you really trusted. And it's really finding that trust again in the universe that you are going to be cared for abundantly in all ways.
Yes.
So, yes.
And I think what happens for so many of us with this child wounding in a way, like to our expression and our voice and our beingness, is shame. Mm-hmm. And because I love your birds, because that's what happens, right? Our parents or whatever, we don't do whatever it is that's supposed to be done, and then we get berated or, you know, whatever, or terrible things can happen to many of us, and that causes shame. And then we bury that stuff, and then every time that we're going through our life, there's triggers that happen, and we go into that shame, and what that shame does is it puts us back in that box. And so by exploring what's inside of you with guidance, if you're you know, most of us are unable to lock this stuff by ourselves because, like, it's hard to see yourself, right? When you have someone, and it's a beautiful experience to walk through this with love with someone else that can guide us through these moments, because it can feel so painful. And I got to tell you guys something. The pain that you feel that you don't want to feel it is so much greater on the beginning of it, right? Like you're like, ah, because it's triggering a response that you felt when you were the kid or when you were in that moment that created that initial shame anyway. And everything in your ego says, no, no, no. And if you just through that and feel the feels and then go, oh, yeah, that felt actually really good to cry about that and to let that shit go. And now I'm coming at my experience from a different place, and that thing won't rise up in me the same impact. The trigger won't be so powerful. The shame won't stop me in my tracks. And we all need to let go of this stuff. And the work that I'm doing with Sarah, and then I've been working with Becky Schoonover, who's, hi baby. She's been teaching me about my chakras and deep priestess work that we've been doing together for eons. I have others. I'm bringing this into the Divine Light portrait experience because this stuff is so powerful. It shifts us and changes us, and we can change the world with this. We are changing it, changing our own vibration, our own very reality. I'm like looking around myself. I'm in a totally new place. I'm like looking up at my ceiling, my high ceilings, and my
and it's like you will truly become who you have always meant to be. You will be your authentic self. And you will truly shine like the brightest light. It's going to travel like out to other universes and galaxies. And learning to just love yourself fully and completely in every way.
Yes. So, yes, and expanding in to all of you, all of who you are.
Yes. Because there's so many. I mean, you're even
resonating, illuminated.
Yeah. It's like we're even a part of our past lives. And then we also bring those into this life now here with us. But we get to discover, okay, we have like little bits of all these, but okay, now we gotta like love this incarnation of ourselves and really enjoy it. Like there's nothing to be scared about and to really embrace like such a beautiful life that you can make yourself.
Yes. And in being in such deep awareness with what's deeply inside of us, we choose differently, and in choosing differently, we create differently. And let me tell you, no matter what you're doing, guess what? You're still creating your reality, whether you crawl in a hole and shut down or not. still creating a reality. I mean, I hate to say this, but just look at my brother, you know. I brought him up at the beginning of the show. My brother didn't resolve living, still created a reality that is effectuated beyond his death. And having the courage to say, you know what, no matter what it takes, I'm going to look at this stuff. I'm going to get support. I'm going to trust myself. If I don't trust myself, I'm going to learn. If I don't know how to do it, I'm going to learn. You know, that's one of the biggest things. Well, then figure it out. Figure it out. Get some help. And if somebody triggers you to shut down, find somebody else who doesn't. Like if somebody's triggering you to where you want to crawl back in that hole, come on, baby, come out of the hole. Somehow, you know, get out of the box because it's time and you're still creating whether you are in the hole or you're all out and illuminated and fabulous, you know, like might as well come on out. Shine, baby.
Yeah, right? and the universe too is going to keep like, it's like they give you a choice. Like it's time to look inward and you really need to rebuild your foundation in creating a authentic life for yourself. And so it's like they can say, okay, we can either do this the nice way, or we're gonna like kind of rip the rug out from under you. Like we're gonna keep shaking you until you face this. So it's like really shifting, becoming more positive. And yeah, because like for me, when I was going through my journey, like the rug was like I did not want to deal with it. The rug got taken out, and then I was left like I like didn't even know who I was. Yeah. So yeah,
Becky, thanks for joining us. Yeah, I know, and that's I think where many of us begin this journey is that we don't know who we are and we don't know what we feel because we haven't been allowed to, and so we're kind of immobilized in the submission, and that's what makes us pissed off, and makes us feel sad, and that's what makes us have eating disorders and body disorders and IBS and all this stuff because we're denying our truths. So I think we've just delivered super mega nuggets. We have like 15 minutes left. If you're just joining us and you didn't see the beginning, you should go back and watch the replay. And I would, if this is resonating with you, I would watch it a few times because this stuff is gleaned through hard tears, work. I spent a lot of money to learn this stuff because it just isn't the way we're taught, especially someone like me. I'm older, like, I mean, but you, like, things were different. You just didn't talk about or highlight any of these things. But I'd love to throw this out to Sarah. You can say no, but I want to experiment with somebody. Like, could we do a little reading, or do you want to do a little reading of me and you, or what do you want to do? Like, let's do something fun to show kind of what we can open up today.
Yeah, I'm
or
completely like.
Could we do a reading? Huh?
I like do like what kind? Like, do you want me to like more tune in, or do you want me to pull cards, or?
Let's tune in and let's do a reading like for the whole group. Can we do that? Are you able to, or is it always one-on-one? Like maybe the inner child vibe of the community.
Okay.
And I'll pull a general card for the community. And let's do it let's do it while you're talking. I'm gonna pull a card and let's just see what we get. And does that make sense, or?
Yeah, just like it's like the collective. Okay, so you want to pull the card
by the way,
first?
Somebody's throat is so tight.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like feeling. Yeah, it's like it's like. Yeah, it's like I feel that it's like triggering things for other people because they're just like, oh snap, you know. It's like their inner child is like, what? Like I gotta start, you know, working on these areas too. So okay, so are you gonna pull? So you'll pull a collective card first?
Yes, ours. Let's do it at the same time. Let's see what comes through. I'm just
okay.
See what flies out, and then You start talking if you can, and bring through whatever message is meant to come through for this live stream. And then, of course, if you want us, you're ready to really take 3 months for yourself to come to a new place, there's that too. So, all right, what you got?
Okay, so I'm feeling like, is it okay if like heavy? Do I just need to keep it? Because I'm like already hearing heavy things.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Okay.
Tell the truth. We do here in Valtopia. We tell the truth.
Okay.
It hurts. We can get through the hurt, right? We can get through the hurt. We can get through the scary. We can get through the heavy. Bring it to life.
Okay. So I instantly I heard the word shotgun. Like it's very
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like it feels very like I'm feeling like a little girl, like it's like a woman's inner child energy, but it feels very like she's really put up a lot of walls. Like I'm hearing like with her dad too, it's like her dad is like coming through. Like it's important to know that none of this was her fault. It's very important that his anger and rage was not her fault. And it feels, okay, now I'm hearing like that not to take on. So like when you were a child and you wanted that validation to know that you're special, that you are loved for exactly who you are, and you weren't trying to be like molded like silly putty, you know? You are already that. You don't need other people's validation to be lovable, to be loved. Like I'm hearing, it's like we are all, like I keep hearing we are all one. We are all learning in these powerful journeys, and how we are like all that we are all interconnected in this universe, and how we dip and flow through our experiences to be then realigned to then boost each other up. I'm getting the chills right now. To really boost each other up and hold each other in this space of allowing others to grow and shine your light. Don't worry about what anybody's thinking, you know? Just embrace who you are, and I'm hearing to never judge anybody else's journey. It's not your place. Stay in your lane and your boundaries, and just love each other, and know that you are loved the way that people know how to love you. And so accept that love like very openly, and be thankful for it. And like, okay, and I'm hearing like it's your time to shine. Like it's your time for the healers to come out, to help the people
I pulled the sun. I pulled the sun card too. Time to shine. Yeah.
I'm hearing like it's time for our light to come out. Like we healers are here to help the collective awaken, to give their paths to enlightenment, and to be their authentic selves, and to learn to trust in your source. In your source, and whoever you pray to, you know, whoever's there, that you know, in the darkness of the night, when you look up at the stars. Like I love looking up at the stars at night and talking to my divine team. It's like the greatest thing, because I know like there's so much out there. So, and we're here, okay, and this is important too, we're here to create our own heaven on earth. We get to bring that here, and we're helping Mother Earth. Oh my God. Wow.
Princess of Dis, which is about Gaia and abundance and loving Mother Earth. Yeah, girl. See, I knew this is why I wanted to do this raw. We've never done this before. But see,
Yeah, yeah. Wow, and just yes, it's like we are helping Mother. Yeah, it's like we are giving, like the healers are a voice for Mother Earth, but then in return, we need to learn and allow for Mother Earth to be our mother and to know that we're not doing it all alone. Everything is meant for a reason. If it's like a little, mosquito flying by, like, ooh, someone's sucking the blood out of me. Like, I gotta pay attention to that, or like, I'm just creating. You don't have to be mean to create your boundaries. The angels want you to stand up for your heart and be authentic. So it's like everything. You're here on this journey to learn to fully, completely love yourself. That's your mission. Oh, my God.
Two of Cups, which is hearts intertwined. And let me see the guide, but yeah. Self-love, love for others. And, what you're saying makes me think of what I say almost every live stream. You never, if you get off the path, if you're in the box, you're never stuck. It's not like there's this, you're dead or you're alive. It's, you're either flowing back towards yourself or away from yourself. And when you look up around you and you go, oh, I'm totally away from myself. Okay, so get back to it. So get up and get back to it. Whatever you got to do, there's always some way to come back to yourself, right?
Yes.
This depth of work, well, honey, you get there pretty quick. It's very powerful. That's very powerful. So I love this. Do we have any more? Let me see what this two of cups. Just I feel like I'm being told I'm supposed to read this.
Okay, because I'm hearing like power. It's like us like investing in yourself is so important because then you're able to discover hidden worlds within you and to really harness your power and really learn the goddess within you, the angel of light that you are, the love that you are, like completely. So like that I'm feeling like that was very strong, like coming through to like really, hug your power.
Yes. I'm looking at the comments. Hearts intertwined, this rules, more and more, wow. And then those are the other comments. Let's see. Hi, Ada. Hi, everybody. It's so great to see all the comments. So let's see. We have a few minutes left. Let me see. I feel like we should clear this throat. Do you want to should we do that together too?
Sure.
So when you do it, are you like me? It's such a happens, or do you have a process?
Yeah, I feel like I already feel it like in my tummy. Like I start, like once I just kind of because it's like our divine breath is what connects us. And I start to feel it in my tummy. Like it feels a little bit higher, but now I'm starting to feel it like in my root chakra. And it's really like I'm feeling like worthiness. Are you worthy of stepping forward to really love yourself? And you're not leaving anybody behind. You are...
No, you're uplifting them.
Yeah, you're uplifting, but you're leading by example. You're not trying to change anybody. You're just saying, hey, like, just walk with me a little bit down this little beautiful flowery path. And like, let's be free. And then all of a sudden they're like, woo, like, it's like they're getting little tingles, it's like they can start to feel it like bubbling up, and yeah, it's just,
I burped, somebody cleared.
Yeah.
That was reassuring
like feeling,
because the worthiness to speak their truth is
yes, it's like I'm feeling
like, who am I to better myself?
Yes, and it's like they don't know. It's like a lot of people feel they walk on eggshells because they don't want to say things that are not going to be heard correctly. So then as you clear these like inner child, these like emotional pains like around your heart, like these shackles, and you tear it down, it's like then the angels let the words flow from you in a loving way. It's like you can speak
Yeah.
your truth and be loving also.
Yes.
It's like this root chakra and like in my tummy, it's like kind of like up, like it's kind of feeling above my heart right now. So it feels like really big. It just feels like it's like
Yeah.
gonna be a little bit slower. Yeah, it like kind of hurts. It's like I'm feeling like it's like heartache. Um,
Yeah.
that it's important for others too to know to not hang on to heartache anymore and things that you've endured. It doesn't serve you anymore. We're here to create our own heaven on earth and like use those painful experiences like I'm hearing like as a ladder, like to let it
Yeah.
lift you up. Yeah, and then just let it fall like fairy dust, like okay, I don't need that, I can walk on the clouds now. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, well, I know for me, just the words "just let it go" never worked, right? And it's this sort of conscious awareness of,
Mm-hmm.
oh, wait, like it's very simple, but it's hard in a way to learn to do it. And that's the other thing about all of this work. It is difficult at first, and you won't get it all
Uh-huh.
right at first, but it gets easier, and you do get better at it. And don't be so hard on yourself, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
because it's all coming into the flow. So loving on yourself and letting it go, um, you know, find whatever works to unlock that grip on thinking I can't. Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
because you can't fit into somebody else's mold of how they think that you need to be. It's truly I'm like totally feeling it like up here in my throat now. Like
Me too. All here. I'm like,
yeah, it's like
all right,
okay, like
let's take a deep. Oh, I'm like, let's move it. Let's shift it. But
no,
we
I'm
can
like I
shift the
need
energy.
like
I know.
a chainsaw.
And that's the
Yeah,
thing. We can shift the energy, and that helps you to feel more clear. And it's in that clarity and in those moments when you do feel aligned and centered that then you do look at the situation and choose something differently. So
mhm.
um, I hear you, but it looks like you're frozen on my end.
Oh
Um,
really?
yeah, and it's a funny face.
I know. I'm supposed to like look like a golden goddess. No.
Well, it's just on my phone because on my laptop you're not frozen. So
Oh, okay, 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 good. Okay, yeah.
so
So,
listen,
mhm.
we've been on for an hour and it's been amazing. And I would love for you guys to join us. We each have a group. We'll put our links to our groups. Divine Brilliance for Visionary Leaders and
Mine
Inner
is energetic healing with Sarah Labra.
Yes. And look for an offer coming from both of us. There's going to be one at a sort of entry level experience. And then I would like to include some services with Sarah in my Divine Light portrait experience. And there's going to be some other healers involved in that package too. Honey, this is the next level of this work. I'm so stoked about it. So
Yeah, it's
stay
like
tuned.
it's beyond. It's awesome.
Yeah. And we got to do this because I was on such hard lockdown, and look what you were too. We're managing to unlock others by unlocking ourselves, and
Yes,
it's
you
fully
have to
possible and really
heal to be a
important.
healer.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. And to guide, we guide ourselves beyond where we were, and like you
Hmm.
said, live by example. And in doing so, we let others know who we are and what we need, and we make it easier for others, really. And then they
Hmm.
go, "Oh, I can do that too. Let's go." Right?
I finally just burped.
I know. I've got the rose quartz here. This thing is magic. This thing is been charged up and
I love it. I
so
love it. I love it. I know
yeah. And if
this is,
any of you are identifying with this physical discomfort that we are feeling of you, kind of reach out because ouch.
yeah. Like, damn. Yeah. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, Sarah. This is so expansive and
I
fun
love
and
you.
wonderful, and there's more coming. So you guys light it up, love yourselves, be yourselves, and come join us. Let us know what's going on, and we'll see you soon. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you. Love you, girl. Bye. Love you.
Bye.